Okay, there we go, guys. I'm gonna fire this. It always repeats the thing, Ty, we were so close. Well, guys, I have some sad news. And to you, it's nothing, but to me, it's like the world. I don't know if the bank I get coins from is gonna sell me coins anymore. They said they may not anymore, and it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cause there's like no banks that ever like do like trades at all around here. What's this do?
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter. This place is supposed to be secure! Let's clear out these rats! Vault Hunter on for rear! Full alert!
I don't know if I want to do this. There's too many people hitting.
That.
I really want a fire variant of this gun. I'll watch a video. Top 10 worst legendaries. Borderlands 3. Where's the video? I have to see it. It might be rage bait. I don't know. Where's the video I was trying to watch? These are the top 10 worst. It had a Hellwalker. I swear, if the Hellwalker is on this list, I'm gonna rage.
Stream video, and today we are going over the top. I just gotta say, we tested every legendary weapon that I thought was bad, and oh my goodness, there are so many bad weapons. There are a lot of just stinkers. We
I'll give them that. Well, there are a lot of bad legendaries.
Struggle to kill a single enemy on Mayhem 10. Genuinely, like, these weapons take minutes to kill things. In true takedown, Malon takedown, we test on Graveward. These are some bottom of the barrel, terrible weapons. Never use these things. I hope you guys enjoy the list. Let's get right.
I was watching a video. Someone said turning on true. What I got from the video is that if I put on true takedown mode, I think what happens is that it'll probably give me a different loot pool, and I don't want a different one. I want the one I have. So like instead of getting the redistributors, I could get another legendary that I don't want.
Coming in at our number 10 spot is the Horizon Shotgun. This
Yeah,
thing
I agree with this
one.
one.
Trillion. I don't know why you would ever do it, because that's a horrible enemy to farm. He's such a pain in the butt to kill. And
Yes.
It's terrible. Just hardly any damage.
You shoot any bullets, it doesn't do damage to him, and it
Reload
shoots right back at you.
You shoot its little reload in time before it explodes. It's gonna create this like vortex, which will suck enemies.
That's it.
Which is ironic because this gun itself sucks. It literally, its ability is sucking, and it also sucks. It's really bad. Do not use this thing. Coming in at the number 9 spot is the auto aim. Now I took this thing against the true Malawan takedown, and I was able to kill 3 enemies before I used my entire reserve, a full sniper reserve on this thing, firing in full auto on a cracked Zane build, and it took me literally over 200 bullets to kill 3 enemies with a sniper. This thing is terrible. The auto aim function of it is terrible because it makes it harder sometimes to hit enemies, and if they've got shields, it seeks their shields. Sometimes it doesn't hit crits, and it needs to hit crits to do damage. You can farm this thing from Freddy to guarantee drop a 100% chance of getting it from Freddy, which is also has a 100% chance of being absolute dog water. Do not use this weapon. Coming in at our number 8 spot is the Mother 2. Now this is
It's all Meteor guns, so I'm not surprised.
that it shoots a laser beam, but when you throw it, it's going to deploy this little beacon thing that will hover over enemies and do damage to them. And I would literally rather watch paint dry than watch these laser beams do damage to enemies. They're incredibly weak. And no, just because you can swap something with a Guardian Angel or swap something with an Unforgiven, and say, oh, I use this weapon, but I swapped to a Guardian Angel after throwing it, and then it's good. I will just block you. This gun is terrible. Do not use it. Genuinely 0 out of 10. Coming in at our number 7 spot is the Night Flyer, a gun literally designed to not kill things. You cannot kill enemies with this pistol unless you're using action skill and anointments that have elemental damage on them to dodge the enemies. The Night Flyer, it's unique thing that it does is not kill things. You cannot finish enemies. And if you're using cryo damage with this thing, the cryo damage, enemies will become immune to it because it doesn't deal a dot and it won't be able to kill them. So it's terrible. It does bad damage. When you're in the air, it fires full auto, which is super awkward because randomly you'll just start firing full auto. And when you stop firing full auto, there's a little re-trigger delay of when you can shoot again, and it's awkward to use. It does bad damage. You need a specific build just to be able to finish enemies with it. And if you really want to go get this thing, you can get it from Rackman. I would not recommend doing that though. Coming in at our number 6 spot is the Bearcat. Bearcat does horrible damage. It shoots a bunch of grenades out there. This gun has managed to be dog water through multiple Borderlands games. It's no matter they buffed it multiple times in Borderlands 3, and it is still terrible.
This is not damage per shot, 6 times a second.
Grenades go everywhere. They'll do damage to you. They hardly hit enemies. Even just spraying an enemy point blank with this thing, it just doesn't do this weapon. In any situation, you can spray a ton of enemies with all the grenades, but if they're not taking any damage, then literally what is the point? You can farm this thing for Truffle Munch, and yeah, that's the Bearcat. Alright, we are now down to our top 5 worst weapons, and our number 5 spot is the Chandelier, a weapon that ricochets, but not between enemies. This thing ricochets off of walls and surfaces, unlike the Recursion, which ricochets between enemies, and it is terrible. It's so bad. which is crazy, because it is 187,000 base damage times 4, and still manages to whip out some of the worst damage in the game that I've ever seen. I would be here for a year shooting this guy on this turret. Coming in at our number 4 spot, and this one deserves a special place on this list, is the Boss Death Grip. This thing is a Mayhem 4 exclusive. This is a weapon that can drop to you in the originally hardest endgame, and from Wotan, one of the original, hardest bosses content in this game. Not only that does it drop from some of the hardest content, but it consumes 6 ammo per shot and can't even kill a single Ratch in one shot. This thing is garbage. It's hard to use. The fact that it consumes 6 ammo per shot is absurd. It's genuinely stupid that this thing consumes 6 ammo per shot, is to charge up and does this bad of damage. Like, you can do some things to, like, get this thing to do a little bit more damage. I'm literally playing an Eraser Zane build, and, like, I'm struggling to kill Ratches with this thing. Once again, a Mayhem 4-drop. Like, granted, I could probably kill these things a little bit faster with the Death Grip than the Chandelier, but come on, dude. Not only that, but this one's, like, especially hard to use, because if enemies just walk out of it, then you've wasted 6 shotgun shots on a single shot like that. And, yeah, it's just terrible. Imagine doing some of the hardest content, and this is your reward. And I remember...
Oh my gosh, Hero Wars. Why are these ads still on YouTube?
We're lending a gun that uses money instead of ammo, so you shoot money. You spend $1 for every bullet that you shoot out of this thing, and I don't know why you would ever use it, because you're not only going to lose money, but you do literally 0 damage. This is one of the
That's my only
damage.
like that is my only problem with the predatory bank lending. Is not the money fact. For example, like look on the screen. There's a chance that when I kill one of these enemies, I'm gonna get like $50,000 or so. Right? Like watch this. Yeah, like you see I'm getting money in the right corner, like probably 50,000 shots. Like 50,000 shots is a lot. The problem is yeah, or like 17,000. Even that is a lot of shots for a gun in Borderlands. I probably don't even crack a few thousand shots on the Malon takedown. Or probably not crack more than like 5,000. The problem is it just does such piss poor damage.
Legendary that I've ever seen. I haven't seen anything lower than this. This is a 5,000 base damage predatory lending. I could go through every other thing and nothing else has that low of a base damage. If there's a legendary weapon that's got a lower base damage, you let me know, because I haven't seen one yet. Even the Night Fire pistol is 26,000 base damage versus the 5,000 damage of the predatory lending. The 10 gallon has 36,000 base damage, just to give you an idea of how truly awful this thing is. And when we shoot it at enemies, I'm stuck. Literally stuck in the wall. Like, it's a baby Ratch, bro. It's a baby Ratch. I am using a bullets back down save with gun roll and everything.
How is this guy still alive?
Why? And coming in at our number 2 spot, which I originally thought was going to be, or if I had guessed, I would say that this is the worst gun in Borderlands 3. But there's actually something worse than that, and this is the Creeping Death. This thing has been garbage for forever. I think this originally wasn't in the game, and then they added it later to like... Oh my god, it's so bad. Like, what?
Just laugh though.
Why? Just to give you an idea, this thing is 16,000 base damage. Like, I genuinely think I might be able to kill this guy faster with the predatory lending. Let's kill some of these guys. Let's kill some Ratches. Like, why does it like no way Creeping Death things crawl to a halt. We're at a standstill. We're at a standstill on our damage right now. It's healing. It is out healing. Sick.
I'm on a freaking roll.
And before I say the number 1, a few shoutouts to some weapons. The Pain is Power and the Embrace the Pain both do damage. These weapons kill things. But if you overheat them,
they burn you.
Or the damage that it will do to you,
yeah,
instantly kill you.
It's got good damage. It's got good fire rate. It's good at all. Wow, that guy just flew off the map. Like, it's got good damage. Yeah, but it's overheating and it helps burns you. That's what kills it. That's the big turnoff from me.
So while they can, like, will always be dead. And then the other weapon I wanted to shout out is the Wizzy Mechanic. This thing is, I guess, supposed to just be a weapon you hold while you're in a car to do more car damage, but it's so bad. You can't kill things with it, at all. This is Force Explosion, by the way. It's got no radius, it doesn't do anything, it's hard to hit enemies with, and it's really, really bad, but none are as bad as our #1 spot, which should come to no surprise as a lot of you. It is the Binary Operator. Now, I am rating this weapon based off of the endgame performance. If we were rating these weapons based off of their playthrough performance, we could have a totally different list. Everything is tested at endgame, and this thing, the way it works is it has a hidden base damage number that I think is 50,000 damage, and if you can get an enemy into the 50,000 damage range, you will one-shot them. But until then, it does 2 damage. Millions and millions and millions of health. So when I shoot at an enemy, I do no damage with this thing. It is genuinely terrible. It is hands down at endgame the worst legendary on this list. It is terrible. I mean, it literally does 2 damage. I'm currently dodging this man for 6 damage. 6 damage. And it's a sniper. This thing is terrible. Yes, you can use it. If you're doing a playthrough, it'll kill things. But as endgame performance, this thing is one of the worst weapons in the entire game. I mean, it is the worst weapon in the entire game. And it comes from Farmers Rayce, where that's for some of the best gear in the game for farming. It does 2 damage. What more else can you say? Guys, that is it for the list of the top 10 worst items. I tested so many things.
Holy shit, this guy has 300,000 radiant.
ASMD, the Occultist, what else? The Bright Side. The Bright Side was good.
Here's another top 10 worst legendaries.
I'm Carter. Just like you, my mom.
So let's actually see, we know what.
Hey, what's going on, people? It is GZ here from the Spartan Game Zone, and in this video we'll be counting down the top 10 worst legendary weapons in Borderlands 3. Sometimes legendary already lying on the ground, they might not perform well in your hands. So today I'm going to reveal which guns have that legendary code painted on. These are the fake orange gold no one wants to pick up, and I'll be telling you what makes them so bad and why they should be downgraded. And do let me know in the comments what legendary you think doesn't deserve to hold that title. I'll also be letting you know where you can get them if you're after a challenge. We'll be rating them obviously based on their badness, but also your likelihood to find them, as a bad gun you see often is worse than one you don't. I've got a big week of content planned for next week with the Director's Cut add-on. I'm going to be all over that like sand in your gym shorts. So make sure to stay tuned and hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this one, and let's crack into it. We open this countdown at the top 10 worst legendary weapons in Borderlands 3 with the Hellfire. An incendiary only is...
I'd say if you say Hellwalker, we're gonna you sit down. We have to have a talk. But no. Which is 2 bullets in one.
Rayce's canopy. The Hellfire.
Ooh, that's a power. It's not my element, but
what it even is. It has appeared in every single Borderlands game. Part of
that's a radiation one.
Now, where it's been made by Dahl. In the original game, it spawned with the flavor text, "We don't need no water," and then in Borderlands 2 with "We don't need no fire," but now it's "We don't need no something." It's clearly forgotten who it is, what it's doing, and quite frankly, I think it needs to be admitted to a rest home, but hey, I'm no barista. It's a cool gun that fires molten balls of magma that explode on impact. That spice damage factor and its accuracy give it cause to become a better boomer. but it's a long way off and doesn't do any type of damage against anything but flesh, where it at least does something. Next up is the Frozen Devil, a melee 1 pistol from DLC 3 that always comes in cryo and can only be dropped by Kukuwajak. You fight around here in the Golden Shire. The Frozen Devil fires ice-cold beams of water that cool off your opponents, making them feel all refreshed. That's the opposite of what you want, but it does have a secondary mode where you can fire ice spikes at your enemies, which can deal some damage on the odd occasion. It turns out that pummeling your enemies with ice from your freezer isn't the best method if you want to deal some damage. If anything, the Frozen Devil should be great at freezing targets, what with its huge cryo efficiency, but any other cryo weapon that deals half decent damage will have it beat, especially multi-palleted weapons. Now for the TK's Wave, the worst version of the tidal wave that can come in non-elemental shock or fire and has an increased chance to drop from Dump Truck. You can find it around here in the Droughts as part of the quest Dump on Dump Truck. The TK's Wave is a Jacob's shotgun that fires 6 or 8 pellets which float through the air like a wave breaching the shore. Like a beach, they take up quite a lot of real estate, but will ricochet off world surfaces. The projectiles move slower than a sloth riding a snail, allowing your enemies to dodge them easily, and if that barrel isn't right in their face, you'll be lucky if half the projectiles land. It really isn't suited to small targets, enemies with big health bars, or anything that moves, and can't really do that much damage when they don't, which makes it not very good. At number 7 is the Crossroad, an elemental Hyperion SMG that has an increased chance to drop from Big Donny that you fight around here in the Splinterlands. The Crossroad fires 3 shots in a 6-round burst and consumes 2 ammo per shot. That combined with its large magazine and pure elemental energy makes for a unique weapon. Certainly awesome on paper, but I'm afraid that was stood from us long ago. Compare the damage of what the Crossroad does now to something like the Plasma Coil, and it's shameful to have a former top weapon of the game fall from such heights and still yet to have recovered. It's disappointing to say the least. You would have to go back about 18 months to see it at its peak, to the time just before its pallet was taken from it, something it couldn't live without. That's got to hurt, and it certainly crushed its damage potential, although now it needs much more than that. I'm a big fan of the Crossroad, been praying for a buff for a while, and I hope it gets
I thought the
one
Crossroad's
that
actually
and the
okay.
health bar. On to the Narp now, another DLC 3 weapon. This one's a Hyperion sniper rifle that can come in any element and can only be dropped by Haddon Ma, that you can find around here in Ashfall Peaks. The Narp is a gun that looks suspiciously like the Woodblocker, which should warn you enough, and rightly so. It's your classic low damage semi-automatic sniper rifle, forcing you to continue tapping that trigger if you want to see any type of damage. It is a bad gun, but it's a gun that at least tries, with its unique effect that serves to increase its DPS. Whenever you prematurely reload, the remaining rounds in the mag serve to increase its fire rate, damage, accuracy, and handling. It's definitely better after doing that, but only by a little bit. Its effect also forces you to reload double the amount as usual, when you'd much rather be shooting. Halfway through, and it's the Embrace the Pain, or Pain Its Power. Both are just as bad as each other, with extremely similar effects. You can find both by defeating Hot Carl. You fight around here in Devil's Razor. The Embrace the Pain and Pain Its Power are both developed by COB and can only come in fire. Their damage is on the low side with a steady fire rate and work best against flesh. The lower than average DPS does make these guns poor, but it isn't the main thing that's letting them down. They're both ticking time bombs, setting you on fire randomly, all while they overheat. If your flesh is exposed, you'll quickly burn to a crisp, downing yourself with little or no warning. That's an issue with Mayhem damage scaling, knocking you out of action within a few short seconds. It makes them pretty much impossible to use. The unique effect does make for some build options, namely proccing an elemental projector artifact, that is, if it wasn't so deadly, making them unusable whenever you go too far up those Mayhem levels. The polybias is next, an element
Yeah.
of TDO shotgun that has an increased chance to draw from Genevieve, who you can find around here in Rayce's canopy. TDO as a whole has a problem when it comes to producing top-end weapons, and when you're at the bottom of their pile, you know it's bad news for you. The polybias fires 4 pellets per shot at a nice automatic pace when coming out in horizontal or vertical rows. There's 6 possible positions they can be placed in, and because their orientation changes, it's hard to use it anywhere but close range. That's a problem in itself, but it doesn't matter when it only tickles when every pellet lands. You can hear it fire off those rounds sounding like it's smashing through health bars when in reality they're barely made a scratch. At number 3, the binary operator, melee 1 sniper exclusive to arms Rayce. It can be found anywhere in the Stormblind complex, but does have an increased chance to drop from this chest. You can't get much worse than a gun that doesn't even work properly. On the card, the binary operator always has the number 2 in the damage column. It can deal more damage than that, but most of the time it's nothing at all. Its peak damage remains hidden whenever you shoot an enemy with health below that hidden number, then it'll one-shot them. That's the idea at least, but to be fair, it is bugged and doesn't scale with native levels. When you think about it though, it's not an effect that works. Why have a gun that does no damage at times and all of its damage at other times? It just doesn't make sense. There's no point to pick it over a regular sniper rifle, and that's why it's a no from me. In second place is the Creeping Dead, the TDO shotgun that can only tokens you can find around here in the anvil. The Creeping Dead has the lowest DPS out of any legendary in the entire game, but it is a gun